You arrive here with a quiet question. What do you truly want to create? Before any checklist, before any task or plan, there is a single, sharp kindling of intention. Feel it not as a wish, but as a decision that steadies your center. When you name it clearly, energy gathers like breath before a dive. Notice how your chest softens and your focus narrows. That narrowing is the first current. Hold that clarity for a moment. You'll see how this small, steady flame shifts everything that follows. Now, let your inner world answer. Do your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs line up with this intention? You may feel a tug, excitement, doubt, fear, or peace. These are not obstacles to erase. They are signals about where energy is clogged or flowing. Breathe into any resistance and ask, what would make this feel plausible, safe, and worthy? This subtle internal alignment primes your nervous system to move with the intention instead of against it, so your body, not just your mind, begins to agree. Imagine telling your future self that you will show up for this intention. This promise is the invisible contract that shifts energy from mere desire into commitment. It doesn't need perfection, just a pledge to attempt, to learn, and to follow nudges. As you make this pledge inwardly, energy starts to condense around your goal, and the world responds with subtle openings. Keep that promise alive as the landscape ahead begins to change. Here, we cause the initiating force, your intention, the thought and feeling that begins the story. Cause is not abstract. It's the seed that defines what you prioritize and where attention flows. When you sharpen that seed, you change the field around you. Think of cause as the architecture of your outcome. It sets boundaries and invites possibilities. Without a clear cause, energy scatters. With it, energy begins to form pathways toward what you want. As cause radiates, the world answers in whispers, synchronicities, ideas, an unexpected message, or a sudden clarity. These signs are not random. They are the universe holding up a mirror with options. Learn to read them, not as guarantees, but as invitations. When something nudges you, pause and ask whether it resonates with your intention. Over time, you'll learn the language of these hints, and you'll be able to distinguish mere distraction from true alignment. Energy is limited in every moment. Where you invest it matters. Think like a wise steward. Prioritize actions that return momentum, not fatigue. Small, consistent moves that feel good compound into energetic credit. That means trimming activities that drain you and choosing small, inspired steps that expand your capacity. This is not hustle. It's smart allocation. When you treat energy as currency, you begin to spend it on what actually builds your dream. Create simple anchors, a breath ritual, a short visual cue, or a concrete marker in your environment that reconnects you to your cause. These anchors act like mooring lines when waves of doubt or distraction arrive. Each time you return to an anchor, you reinforce the current you've chosen. The field becomes denser and more responsive because you keep reaffirming your direction, and those tiny reconnections are what translate inner clarity into outward momentum. Inspired action doesn't come from obligation. It arrives as a nudge, a concrete, relatively effortless urge that lights you up. You know it because your body leans forward. It can be small, a message you were meant to send, a call, a short experiment. Do it, not out of pressure, but because your inner compass points. Each inspired step is a beacon. It signals commitment and invites faster, better opportunities. The momentum comes when you follow the nudge repeatedly. Turn inspiration into practice with 3 simple pathways: immediate micro steps, deliberate scheduling, and feedback loops. Micro steps are tiny wins you can do in minutes. Scheduling locks the step into your week so it becomes real. Feedback loops are notes and quick reflections to learn what worked and what didn't. Use all 3 together. Act fast on the nudge, anchor it in your calendar, and review the result. These pathways convert sparks into structure without killing the magic. Consider a woman who felt called to teach but feared she wasn't ready. She offered 1 class online, small audience, imperfect tech, and watched as engaged souls turned into a steady group that grew because she kept showing up. Or a person who sent a single honest message and opened a collaboration that changed their trajectory. These stories share one truth: momentum prefers motion. When you act, doors you couldn't predict begin to appear. Courage isn't an absence of fear, it's a choice to continue in spite of it. When you take inspired actions, results won't always be immediate or perfect. But each small forward move softens fear and builds trust in your capability. Celebrate small results, refine what doesn't work, and keep the next small step simple. Over time, those choices become habit, and habit builds the unstoppable current that carries your intention into manifest reality. Momentum is sustained by small rituals that reconnect you to cause and encourage inspired moves. Start with a morning check-in. 1 sentence intention, 1 small action you will take today, and 1 thing you'll release. Before sleep, note what nudges came and what you learned. These rituals are not chores. They are gentle waypoints that keep your energy aimed. Over days and weeks, they weave a net that catches opportunity and redirects energy into meaningful outcomes. Here is a practical routine you can adopt tonight. 1. Write a clear intention sentence. 2. Identify 1 inspired micro-step. 3. Schedule that micro-step within 48 hours. 4. Take the step. 5. Record 1 observation. This loop takes 5 minutes at each stage and builds rapid feedback. Use this as your prototype. Run it for 2 weeks and notice how the field around you changes. This is the simplest engine of energetic momentum you can run. You've learned to start with a clear cause, read the signs that respond, and follow inspired actions that build momentum. The magic happens when cause and action meet. Intention focuses the field. Action makes it real. This isn't mystical fluff, it's practical energy work. When you steward your attention, align your inner world, and choose simple, inspired steps, you create a current that lifts possibilities into outcomes. Keep this practice, and you will watch small choices rewrite your life. Now, take 1 minute. Write 1 clear intention in the comments, 1 sentence that feels true and achievable. Then choose 1 micro-step from today's routine and commit to it within 48 hours. Share what you do and what happens. If this video helped you feel more capable of translating energy into results, subscribe and ring the bell to join a community practicing momentum together. Share this with someone who needs to hear that small, inspired steps create big shifts. Your journey matters. Start the next step now.